seen those commercials where somebody is in this really, really awkward situation, and then the voice of a narrator says, "Want to get away?" The disciples, they'd been sent out by Jesus, okay, and they're supposed to be preaching and healing the sick and casting out demons, and they did all of the above. They went out and it was crazy busy. I mean, really, really busy. And they had so much to tell Jesus, and they got back, and as they are, sharing all this with Jesus, it's like there are multitudes everywhere. They were absolutely peopled out. They did not want to deal with people, and Jesus said, let's get to a quiet place. So, ever been in that place, where you want to get to another place, a quiet place? Well, that's part of our Christian faith. Sometimes we get peopled out. So let's talk a bit about that as we get into the scriptures today. Okay, I'm going to read from Mark chapter 6, verses 30 through 33. The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he, Jesus, said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many who saw them leaving recognized them and ran on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. You ever been so peopled out that all you could think about was taking time off? It's like you'd had it. The last thing that you wanted was company for dinner, okay? You needed space. You needed peace and quiet. For Jesus and the apostles, getting away for some rest was not working out. Let's pick up at verse 34. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. By this time, it was late in the day. So his disciples came to him and they said, "This is a remote place, and it's already very late." Do you kind of read in here, hint, hint, remember the plan? Get away to a quiet place? They said, send the people away so they can go to the surrounding countryside and get something for themselves to eat. Now, Jesus was probably pretty exhausted, just like his disciples were. But not so tired that he didn't care about the spiritual needs of people. And so he took this interruption in stride, and he took time to teach them. He gave them his time. And speaking of time, can you imagine the apostles, if they would have had wristwatches, they'd be going, "Come on, Jesus, come on, let's get out of here." And they finally reached the point where, hey, this is a remote place. Send these people away. They need to eat something, which was a really polite way for them to say, "We're hungry. We'd like to eat something too. This is a quiet place. Get rid of them. It's time for dinner." Well, let's look at Mark 6, verses 37 through 44 and pick up on the story. But he answered, "You give them something to eat." And they said to him, "That would take more than a half a year's wages. Are we going to go and spend that much on bread and give them something to eat? How many loaves do you have?" he asked. And they said, 5 and 2 fish. And Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down with groups of hundreds and fifties, and taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and looking up into heaven, he gave thanks, broke the loaves, gave them to his disciples to distribute to the people. He also divided the 2 fish among them all. Now, this is perplexing. And it said, and they all ate and were satisfied. 5 loaves, 2 fish, 5,000 people, they all ate and were satisfied. Oh, it gets better. And the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces of bread and fish. The number of men who had eaten was 5,000. Okay? Jesus tells the apostles, you guys need to feed these hungry people. Now, 5 people coming to dinner? Short notice? Doable. 5,000 people coming to dinner? Yeah, well, that's a problem. One of the apostles must have been pretty good with numbers because he crunched them and came up with an estimate of over a half a year's wages just to feed these people. So, I think we need to review this situation. Okay, 5 things. When you review this, and let's take the text and personalize it a bit. There will be times when you're tired and you want to get away from people. There will be times when you can't get away from people. There will be times when the needs of others interrupt your plans. There will be times when serving others is difficult. And there will be times when you think you don't have the resources to help, to do anything. When this event was over and the disciples collected 12 baskets of leftovers, they realized that God uses a different calculator than theirs. Some of the greatest experiences that you and I may have as a follower of Jesus are the times when we're being stretched, occasions when God takes us out of our comfort zone. For instance, if you've never served others when it's inconvenient to serve, then maybe you've never really served others. Serving always focuses on the ones being served and not on the one who is serving. Yeah, you might be dog tired. This might be inconvenient, but it's not about you. It's about the people you're serving. Jesus was willing to be interrupted, and it happened often. What an object lesson for his disciples. Jesus demonstrated how loving others is expressed by being servants and doing it when you're worn out, peopled out, and quite possibly a bit crabby. Every once in a while, you might feel like you need to get away. And it might be true. You probably do need a break. But don't be surprised if God delays your plans by an opportunity to serve. You just might witness a miracle, and that would be good. Remember, God wants you to thrive.
Has God ever interrupted your plans and it resulted in a blessing? Talk about it. How can serving others when it's inconvenient be good for us? In what ways have you seen God multiply resources to help others? The multitude had 2 needs that Jesus addressed. Name them. How does that shape the way we serve people as Christians? Thanks for watching. If you'd like to enjoy more by the Vineyard Church, like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Vineyard Church Iron Range. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Vineyard Church Iron Range. Or visit our website, www.ironrangevineyard.org. Lastly, subscribe to our e-newsletter to stay connected. Do so by visiting our website and clicking subscribe to our e-newsletter on the homepage.